You didn't say happy tracking. I'm disappointed.
It's your tagline.
Hi everyone, and welcome to TimlyTechTalk. I'm Antoinette, your host on this new show where we explore real-world stories of successful digital transformation. I'm excited to have with me today Johannes Pfeiffer, our CMO, who's here to share a really interesting case study about implementing asset tracking. So Johannes, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Ready to start?
Sure.
Let's go.
Welcome to TimlyTechTalk.
So Johannes, what have you brought for us today?
Let's talk about Euromaster. Euromaster is a French company, very well known across Europe, and they do car checks, car repairs for customers. So if you want to get your car checked or your tires changed, etc., you would go to one of their locations and have it done.
And I know you spent a bit of time on a Euromaster site or multiple sites,
right,
with members of our team. What makes Euromaster such an interesting asset tracking case study?
So two main reasons. One, the vast amount of assets across 250 locations, almost 350 with franchise partners, in such a regulated sector, and how to make sense of all of this in one system. And the second reason is the complexity of such a large company. Think about almost 2,000 employees, 20,000 assets. Processes really get complicated.
Yeah, so we'll get to the processes and like kind of the complexities. But so across their locations, what are the types of assets they were like wanting to track or were tracking?
Yeah, so mainly tools and machines, devices for checking cars, for doing maintenance on cars, engines, tires, etc. So you would need a lot of equipment, and you have a lot of staff using that equipment, which brings along a lot of complexities.
Yeah,
because maintenance deadlines, location, where is it, who has it, who's using it, when do I need to get it checked as well, the tool that I'm using, the devices for maintenance, they need to be maintained as well.
Yeah, exactly. So but what was the matter with their existing, I assume they had an asset tracking system in place already for managing these equipment, etc. Okay.
I mean, when we say system, many companies have their way to deal with this information, right? To track assets, because they have to do that. In Germany, especially, you have to keep track of your inventory. You have to report what you have, how much is it worth, etc. So their system, I mean, we're talking about an ERP, we're talking about Excel sheets, paper lists. So the digital transformation in that case meant to bring all these different data channels into one system. That was the challenge from the beginning.
Lots of kind of asset data spread across different spreadsheets, different systems. Maybe they're using like different words for describing the same thing. Do you have like duplicate data?
You have duplicate data, exactly. You have maybe the same machine twice or three times with a different variation of the name. But it's the same machine. So you can match, in Excel, you can match the serial number in the end and see, there are many different entries with the same, for the same machine. But it's not very accurate, and it's also, it brings other problems that you may want to avoid. So one system was needed that cleans up all these problems.
So Euromaster, I mean, they're kind of in the maintenance and repair work, and so I imagine there's also like, I don't know, things to do with regulations, inspections.
It's a very much regulated sector. The German Association for Technical Inspections, we call it the TÜV, exactly. They are very eager to see what Euromaster is doing and how they do it, because you have to think about people having their car checked, tires, brakes, etc., engine checks, and maintenance. So the TÜV wants to make sure that Euromaster follows the regulation.
Okay, of course, yeah.
And then they show up sometimes unannounced, and they want to see the data. And if you can't show them, that means you have maybe several days of downtime because they need to approve your location.
So they can literally shut down your operation.
They can literally shut down the operation until they are through with the check.
Okay.
So if you have chaos in your data,
yeah,
it means that they need more time.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
you actually lose money because you're out of business for some days.
Yeah,
it can happen.
It can happen. So they were looking for a system that basically provided them this overview, and I presume also like provided them like something to do with planning their maintenance.
Planning maintenance.
Like to their own equipment, I mean. Like,
to their equipment is exactly. So keeping track of the tools, of the inspection dates of their own equipment, and also the appreciation and etc. Just everything related to the equipment to make the service at the location more efficient would help them. Also document management. I mean, you need to,
of course.
You have a lot of files for one machine, handbooks, maybe past inspection documents. You have them in the office, but how can you find them fast if you need them? And now they just scan the QR code and they have it all in the asset profile.
Okay, What were the most useful features for their specific use case in the new asset tracking system?
They had quite some requirements. One was the ease of use, of course, because all their staff is involved in using Timly, scanning assets, having access to the information, or planning assets as well.
Because I don't know if we mentioned, but they have like nearly 2,000 employees.
They have about 2,000 employees, which also means they needed different user roles and permissions, which we provided. That was one of the features they requested, to be able to give the intern a certain role and the manager maybe another role. And then, of course, the ease of use, the scanning technology that we use with our partner Scandit makes it really easy to scan any type of barcode, QR code, etc. And also they didn't need additional hardware. So some providers, they sell you hardware as well along with the software. With us, they can just use the existing mobile devices, tablets and phones. So that was crucial. The maintenance planning tool, so they can really efficiently plan and track their maintenance dates, deadlines, and that kind of information.
And like you mentioned at the beginning, also like kind of the complexity of the 250 locations, not counting the franchised outlets and the huge number of assets to be managed. So how did they get from like where they were to where they wanted to be? What was the initial setup? What did that require?
The implementation process. So we actually called it the Tour Germany.
Okay.
Our team went to certain locations with the team from Euromaster.
To understand their use case better.
To understand and to help them find the perfect way to really set up Euromaster for Timly. And so in the beginning, we had these vast amount of data that was not clean, that was not sorted, that had outdated data, machines that didn't even exist anymore. They were still there. And so they started working on their files that they had. And then we came in and we tried to match. We said, okay, this is what we need to import the data. And that was very, very complicated in the beginning. But it also gave us a chance, because we are very customer centric, gave us the chance to improve this function and to really develop a better way to import this kind of information into our system. You have to imagine the management of Euromaster with us in the location, inventorizing assets, like really trying to search for the best way to do it in all the locations.
Amazing,
And then once we had that, the system, how to do it, they went across all the locations to get all the inventory into Timly.
Great, amazing. And so what has been like kind of the impact of that? So what would you say have been like kind of looking back the benefits for Euromaster?
I mean, with a better overview of the assets, it comes a streamlined asset tracking, so they can really save time, which means they save money because they have less downtime, less out of business times when the TÜV comes along. And of course, that brings in more chances to be compliant. So they are more compliant. That means also they have less risk, less business risk. The operational costs, I imagine they drop with using Timly. And we can really see how the system, how the adaptation is moving forward. So even the employees, the staff, you know, they are the ones having to use Timly daily. Sometimes it's new for them, and you know, they don't really understand the purpose. But with time, we can see how even the employees, they love using Timly. They love using it. They love working with it because it makes their life so much easier.
Exactly, like it helps them actually do their jobs better and maybe like quicker as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so great. So I think like we've come to the end. I don't have any more questions,
okay.
but so my key takeaway really from this case study is just how important cleaning up the master data is. Do you have any other, like, you know, kind of big, I don't know, piece of advice to give to other companies like looking to implement asset tracking?
I have one word. Automation.
Okay.
Because when you automate processes, you just save time, and it's less of a hassle, and it makes life easier for you and your employees.
And it's all part of the digital transformation, kind of like most businesses are.
Exactly. There's no way around it, you know.
There's no way around it.
You need to be competitive. Imagine your competition using Timly. You want to use it as well, because otherwise there's, you know,
stay behind. Absolutely. Great, thank you so much, Johannes. It's been really you know, interesting hearing about Euromaster, and thank you for sharing your insights. And I'm sure we'll have you back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Soon. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. That's all for today. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe or follow for more episodes like that. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, happy tracking. Bye. You didn't say happy tracking? I'm disappointed.
It's your tagline.
Bye, everyone.